Have you ever noticed how everyday tasks seem to take a little more effort lately? Maybe turning a doorknob feels stiffer, maybe lifting a grocery bag leaves your arms a bit sore, or maybe getting up from bed in the morning doesn't feel as easy as it once did. For many people over 60, this creeping weakness is simply accepted as part of aging. But what if that assumption is wrong? What if strength isn't something we lose by default, but something we can protect or even rebuild through small choices, starting with what we put on our plate? Muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, can begin as early as your 40s and speeds up after 60. According to Harvard Health, it's one of the leading causes of falls, fatigue, and loss of independence in older adults. But here's the good news. The foods we choose can make a difference. In fact, there are vegetables, yes, vegetables that contain as much protein as an egg. One of them even holds nearly double the amount. And yet, most people have never heard of it. In this video, we'll explore 10 vegetables rich in plant protein that don't just nourish your body, but help restore the strength you may have thought was gone for good. Backed by science, and brought to life through real stories from people just like you, this journey isn't about dieting, it's about rediscovering your power. So let me ask you, when was the last time you felt proud of how strong your body was? If you're curious about how simple, affordable vegetables could help you feel strong again, you're in exactly the right place. Let's get started. Let's begin with something surprisingly powerful: mushrooms. When most people think of protein, mushrooms aren't the first food that comes to mind. But certain varieties, like oyster mushrooms and king trumpet mushrooms, quietly deliver a boost of plant-based protein along with a host of other muscle-supporting nutrients. 1 cup of cooked oyster mushrooms contains about 3 to 4 grams of protein. That may not sound like much at first, but remember, the strength of food isn't only in its numbers, it's in what comes with them. What makes mushrooms special is not just their protein content, but their unique ability to protect muscle tissue from age-related damage. According to researchers at Penn State University, mushrooms are one of the richest sources of ergothioneine, a powerful antioxidant that helps reduce inflammation and oxidative stress in muscle cells. This means they don't just help feed your muscles, they help shield them, too. Let me tell you about Robert, a retired carpenter from Ohio, now 68. After decades of physically demanding work, Robert found himself exhausted doing simple things like lifting a bag of soil in his garden. His doctor suggested adding oyster mushrooms to his diet 3 times a week, not as a miracle cure, but as a small, supportive change. Within weeks, Robert noticed something unexpected. He could move through his yard work without needing to sit down every 10 minutes. His wife joked that mushrooms gave him his second wind. For Robert, that wasn't just funny, it was freedom. And the best part? Mushrooms are easy to enjoy. Instead of reaching for red meat at dinner, you can grill thick slices of portobello mushrooms for a hearty, satisfying texture. Toss oyster mushrooms into a quick stir-fry, or roast them with olive oil and garlic for a savory side dish. Even adding a few sautéed mushrooms to your scrambled eggs or warm soup can make your meal both nourishing and flavorful. Mushrooms may be humble, but they're quietly powerful. They offer strength not just in grams of protein, but in the way they support recovery, energy, and daily movement. And while mushrooms are a wonderful place to begin, what comes next may surprise you even more. Because the next vegetable on our list delivers even more protein per serving, and for many seniors, it's already sitting in the produce aisle, waiting to be rediscovered. After discovering the quiet strength of mushrooms, let's turn to something even more vibrant: leafy greens that don't just color your plate, but build your foundation of strength from within. Among them, mustard greens and kale stand out as powerful allies for older adults. Behind their crisp leaves and earthy flavors lies an impressive amount of protein, along with vitamins and minerals that support the very systems that keep you moving each day. 1 cup of cooked mustard greens offers about 5 grams of protein, while kale provides close to 7 grams per cup, according to USDA data. These numbers might surprise you because we often think of greens as light foods. Yet, they are true builders in disguise. But what truly makes these greens remarkable is how they work in harmony with your body. Mustard greens are loaded with vitamin K and calcium, two nutrients that work hand in hand to support bone strength and muscle contraction. Kale, on the other hand, delivers not only protein but also vitamin A for vision and vitamin C for collagen, which helps muscles and skin stay firm and resilient. The USDA also notes that both mustard greens and kale contain compounds that reduce inflammation, a key factor behind age-related muscle decline. In other words, they not only help your body move, they protect it from the slow wear and tear of time. Let's meet Miriam, a 74-year-old retired school teacher from North Carolina. She loved cooking for her grandchildren but often found herself too tired to stand in the kitchen for long. Her nutritionist suggested a simple swap: replace iceberg lettuce with mustard greens in her salads and soups. Miriam was skeptical at first, but after a few weeks, she began to notice a change. Her legs didn't ache as quickly, and she could prepare a full Sunday dinner without needing to rest halfway through. It wasn't magic, it was nourishment working quietly behind the scenes. Bringing these greens into your kitchen is easier than you might think. You can sauté them gently with olive oil and garlic, add them to scrambled eggs for a protein boost, or blend them into a comforting soup on a cool evening. For those who enjoy a bit of spice, mustard greens add a pleasant peppery note that makes healthy eating feel exciting again. Mustard greens and kale remind us that strength doesn't always come from the heaviest foods, it often grows from the simplest ones. And if these greens surprise you, wait until you hear about the next vegetable. It's one that almost every household already keeps in the fridge, yet few realize just how much power it holds for preserving strength and independence. Now, let's talk about two vegetables that may already be in your kitchen but are more powerful than you've been told. Broccoli and Brussels sprouts. These green, cruciferous vegetables are often served as side dishes, but science shows they can take center stage when it comes to preserving strength and preventing decline. 1 cup of cooked broccoli contains around 3.7 grams of protein, while Brussels sprouts come in slightly higher, offering about 5 to 6 grams per cup depending on preparation. But what they lack in sheer protein numbers, they make up for in nutrient synergy, meaning the way their nutrients work together creates a much bigger impact than any single number can explain. Broccoli is a powerhouse of vitamin C, which plays a key role in repairing muscle tissue and reducing inflammation. It also contains fiber, which supports digestion and steady energy. Brussels sprouts are equally impressive, delivering high levels of vitamin K, essential for bone strength, and folate, which helps with cell repair. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who consumed cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts on a regular basis scored higher in muscle function tests and showed slower declines in mobility. That's not just promising, it's empowering. Take the example of Alan, a 70-year-old grandfather from Minnesota who enjoyed walking his dog every morning. Over time, though, he noticed his pace slowing and his legs feeling heavy after just a few blocks. On a friend's advice, he began incorporating roasted Brussels sprouts and steamed broccoli into his dinners several nights a week. Within a month, he told his daughter he could walk longer without stopping and even started taking the stairs again instead of the elevator. It was a small shift that led to a big result. The beauty of these vegetables is that they're incredibly easy to prepare and adapt to your tastes. Broccoli can be roasted with olive oil and lemon to bring out a toasty, crisp flavor. Brussels sprouts can be halved and baked until caramelized, unlocking their natural sweetness. If you prefer a lighter touch, try steaming them or shredding them raw into salads for added crunch and freshness. A sprinkle of Parmesan or a dash of balsamic glaze can make them feel gourmet without the effort. Broccoli and Brussels sprouts may look ordinary, but their effect on your strength is anything but. They fuel your muscles, support your bones, and help keep inflammation at bay, all essential for staying active and independent. And as we continue our journey through these quiet superfoods, the next ones will not only surprise you with their protein content, but also offer a taste of comfort from every season. Now let's shift our attention to two vegetables that bring both nourishment and a bit of joy to the dinner table: sweet corn and green peas. You may think of them as simple sides or childhood favorites, but they carry an impressive amount of plant-based protein along with key nutrients that support energy, strength, and healthy aging. 1 cup of cooked sweet corn contains around 5 to 6 grams of protein, while green peas deliver even more, up to 8.5 grams per cup. That makes peas one of the highest protein vegetables, rivaling even a whole egg in protein content. But what truly sets these vegetables apart is how their natural sweetness hides their strength-building potential. Sweet corn is rich in B vitamins that fuel energy production and support brain and nerve health. It also provides fiber to aid digestion and promote fullness, something especially important for seniors managing appetite and blood sugar. According to data from the USDA, including corn in a balanced diet may help improve overall energy and satiety, making it easier to maintain healthy eating habits without relying on heavier, more processed foods. Green peas are equally impressive. Not only are they rich in protein, they also provide magnesium, which supports muscle contractions, and iron, which carries oxygen through your blood, both essential for physical endurance. Research from the National Institutes of Health highlights that plant proteins found in peas can help preserve lean body mass and reduce frailty in older adults. Plus, their high fiber content slows digestion and helps regulate blood sugar levels, making them a smart choice for those managing diabetes. Let's take a moment to meet Margaret, a 76-year-old retiree from Iowa. She grew up on a farm where corn was always on the table, but in recent years, climbing the stairs into her home had become a struggle. Instead of turning to packaged snacks, she began roasting ears of sweet corn and mixing green peas into her soups and salads. Within just a few weeks, she noticed her legs felt steadier and her afternoon fatigue started to fade. Her walks around the neighborhood no longer felt like a chore. They became something she looked forward to. Bringing corn and peas into your meals is both simple and comforting. Steam whole ears of corn or grill them for a smoky twist. Stir peas into stews, blend them into creamy soups, or serve them as a warm side dish with a touch of olive oil and fresh herbs. These familiar vegetables offer more than nostalgia. They deliver the kind of support your muscles and body need to stay active and independent. And as we continue, the next vegetables on our list raise the bar even higher, offering not just protein, but a level of nourishment that's been treasured across cultures for generations. Now we arrive at 3 vegetables that not only support muscle strength, but have also been cherished for their nourishment across cultures for centuries, starting with asparagus. Known for its delicate flavor and elegant appearance, asparagus is much more than a fancy dinner side. 1 cup of cooked asparagus provides around 5 to 7 grams of protein, making it one of the highest protein vegetables you can include in your meals. But beyond the numbers, asparagus offers folate for cell repair, vitamin K for bone strength, and potassium to help regulate blood pressure. A study in the Journal of Food Science found that asparagus contains unique compounds called saponins, which help reduce inflammation and protect muscles from age-related damage. This makes it an excellent food not just for feeling strong, but for staying strong. Take the story of Thomas, a 69-year-old retired firefighter from California. He spent decades in active service, but after retiring, he began to notice his stamina fading. His doctor suggested a small change: add asparagus to dinner twice a week, either roasted or lightly grilled. After 2 months, Thomas found himself walking longer with his dog, and even returned to gardening, a hobby he had abandoned when fatigue set in. For him, asparagus was a quiet return to the life he missed. Next, We have lima beans, also called butter beans, for their soft, creamy texture. Often overlooked, these legumes are nutritional powerhouses. A single cup of cooked lima beans delivers nearly 12 grams of protein, nearly double what you'd find in a single egg. They're also rich in magnesium, potassium, and iron minerals that support muscle contraction, oxygen transport, and sustained energy. A study published in the British Journal of Nutrition showed that older adults who included more legumes like lima beans in their diets experienced improved muscle mass and reduced risk of frailty. That means these beans don't just fill you up, they help keep you moving. Let's not forget Caroline, a 71-year-old librarian from Georgia. Carrying groceries up the stairs had become a challenge. On her nutritionist's advice, she began cooking lima bean soup twice a week. Within weeks, she reported that her legs felt steadier and daily tasks became easier. She even joked that it felt like comfort food with secret strength hidden inside. Finally, we reach edamame young, green soybeans. 1 cup of cooked edamame provides nearly 12 grams of protein, making it the most protein-rich vegetable on our list. Research from the Harvard School of Public Health shows that soy protein not only supports lean muscle mass, but also helps lower cholesterol and support heart health. For seniors looking to maintain strength without relying heavily on meat, edamame is a game changer. It's quick to prepare, just steam and sprinkle with sea salt or toss into salads, stir fries, or even blend into a creamy dip. Edamame may be small, but its impact is anything but. It proves that you don't need complicated meals or expensive supplements to nourish your body. Sometimes, all it takes is a handful of green pods to help you feel stronger, steadier, and more in control of your life. And as we wrap up this journey through 10 remarkable vegetables, one message becomes clear. Nature has already provided powerful allies, we simply need to invite them back to our table. As we come to the end of this journey, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discovered together. 10 simple vegetables, each one offering more protein than many people expect, some even more than an egg, have quietly stood by, waiting to support your strength, energy, and independence. From mushrooms and mustard greens to lima beans and edamame, each of these foods offers not just nutrients, but a message that the process of aging does not have to mean giving up your power. It simply means choosing to nourish it in a different way. What's most encouraging is that none of these changes require expensive supplements or dramatic overhauls. They're not about restriction or strict rules. They're about inviting familiar foods back onto your plate with intention. A serving of peas, a bowl of soup with lima beans, a side of sautéed kale. These are not small choices when you see them as investments in your future strength. The science supports it, and so do the real-life stories from men and women across the country who have felt the difference in their everyday lives. You may not notice a transformation overnight, but over time, consistency creates quiet change. Muscles become steadier, energy returns, tasks that once felt heavy feel manageable again, and most importantly, confidence grows. Because feeling strong isn't just about lifting something heavy, it's about knowing you can rely on your body to carry you through your day, on your own terms. Now I want to hear from you. Have you tried any of the vegetables we've talked about today? Have you noticed changes in your energy or mobility? Maybe you have a favorite recipe that includes broccoli or edamame, or maybe you're just getting started. Whatever your story is, share it in the comments below. My team and I read every message, because your voice matters, and your experience may just inspire someone else to take their first step. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. We share practical, science-backed tips for staying strong, aging well, and living fully no matter your age. There are more videos waiting for you, filled with simple changes that can make a big difference. Remember, your body hasn't forgotten how to be strong. It's still capable of growth, of renewal, and of surprising you. All it needs is your care, your attention, and the right fuel. So the next time you look at your plate, ask yourself, is this helping me stay strong? And if the answer is yes, even in small ways, you're already on the right path. Let's keep walking it together.